Erin Kinsey sat cross-legged on her bedroom floor, carefully arranging her collection of shiny, colorful rocks. Each stone caught the light in a different way, sparkling with every movement of her small hands. She loved how the sunlight poured through her window, making rainbows dance across the walls and ceiling, turning her room into a magical world of color and light. The rocks glowed in the sunlight, their colors bright and cheerful, as if they held tiny pieces of the rainbow inside them. Erin was lost in her world of colors and shapes until, suddenly, a shadow swept across her room. The bright light faded, and her beautiful rocks turned dull and gray, as if someone had switched off the magic. Startled, Erin hurried to the window. The sky, which had been a clear, brilliant blue just moments before, was now filling with thick, dark clouds that seemed to swallow the sunlight whole. The clouds gathered quickly, their bellies heavy and gray, rolling across the sky faster than Erin had ever seen. It was as if the whole world was holding its breath. Outside, the birds fell silent, their songs cut short by the sudden change. The wind picked up, making the old oak tree's leaves whip and dance wildly, branches swaying as if waving a warning. An eerie quiet settled over the neighborhood, the kind of stillness that comes just before something big and important happens. Even the usual sounds of cars and distant voices seemed to disappear. Erin pressed her face to the cool glass, her breath fogging up a small circle as she watched. Her heart pounded with a strange mix of excitement and worry, unsure of what the storm would bring. The sky grew darker and darker, the world outside transforming before her eyes. Shadows stretched across the houses and streets, making everything look mysterious and new. In the distance, a flash of lightning lit up the clouds, followed by the low rumble of thunder. Erin realized a thunderstorm was coming, a real powerful one, the kind she'd only read about in books. But instead of fear, she felt a jolt of curiosity. What would it be like to watch the storm from the safety of her room? What secrets did the stormy sky hold? Erin settled by the window, ready to watch the show begin, her eyes wide with wonder as the first drops of rain began to fall. Erin wanted the best view, so she grabbed her duck blanket, the one she always used for special occasions. It was soft and yellow, with a faded patch where she'd hugged it too many times to count. She collected a flashlight just in case the power went out and a plate of cookies, her favorite chocolate chip, still warm from the oven. Erin set up camp by the big living room window, arranging her blanket and snacks with care, making sure everything was just right for the show about to unfold. The world outside grew darker, the afternoon light fading as streetlights flickered on one by one, casting long shadows across the quiet street. The air felt heavy, charged with anticipation. She nestled into her blanket, eyes wide with excitement, her heart thumping in her chest as she waited for the first sign of the storm. A low rumble rolled through the sky, so soft at first it could have been a distant truck, but Erin knew better. She could feel the difference in her bones. The sound grew, vibrating through the floor and up into her feet, making her toes tingle. The whole house seemed to shiver with the coming storm. This was the first thunder, her favorite part. It was like the sky was saying hello, announcing the adventure with a deep, rolling voice. The clouds outside churned, now a deep purple, and the wind howled, making the trees sway and dance as if they were part of the storm's secret performance. Erin hugged her knees, feeling small but thrilled, like she was the only audience member at a grand, wild show. The house seemed tiny under the vast, stormy sky, dwarfed by the swirling clouds and the power of nature outside. She was a little scared, her stomach fluttering, but mostly, she couldn't wait for what would happen next. The unknown made everything more exciting. The adventure had officially begun, and Erin felt ready for whatever the storm might bring. She watched, breath held, for the next sign from the sky, maybe a flash of lightning, or another booming rumble. The storm was just getting started, and Erin knew this was only the beginning of her night of wonder. Suddenly, a jagged bolt of lightning split the sky, tearing through the darkness with a blinding intensity that seemed almost unreal. For a single heartbeat, the world outside was turned stark white, every tree and blade of grass frozen in the electric glare. Erin gasped, her eyes wide with awe and a flicker of fear, caught between wonder and worry. The thunder followed. Crack! Boom! So loud it seemed to shake the very walls, rattling the windows in their frames and making the whole house tremble. She pulled her blanket close around her shoulders, heart pounding in her chest, seeking comfort in its warmth. Another flash lit up the sky, followed by another deafening crash, each one echoing through the night and making her jump. Then the rain began, not gentle but fierce, pounding against the glass in relentless sheets, as if the sky itself had opened up. The old oak tree outside her window blurred behind a shimmering curtain of water, its branches swaying wildly in the wind. Thunder and rain merged into a wild, chaotic symphony, filling the air with a roar that drowned out every other sound. Erin felt tiny, almost swallowed by the storm's power, but she couldn't tear her eyes away from the spectacle outside. Each flash and boom made her flinch, yet curiosity and excitement kept her glued to the window, eager for what would come next. The storm was right overhead now, swirling and crackling with energy, and she realized she was in the very heart of it all. It was the most thrilling, unforgettable show she'd ever seen, nature's power on full display, both terrifying and beautiful. As the storm raged, Erin decided she needed a safer spot. She built a fort from sofa cushions and a checkered tablecloth, crawling inside with her blanket and cookies. From a small gap, she could still see the storm outside. Inside, the thunder was muffled, lightning casting quick shadows on the ceiling. Erin felt brave and clever in her cozy hideout. She watched branches whip in the wind and rainwater rush down the street. The storm was powerful, changing everything outside. Erin felt less afraid, more curious about nature's strength. Her fort became a secret laboratory for observing the wild world. She realized she was witnessing something amazing, not just something scary. Slowly, the thunder faded to distant rumbles, and the rain softened to a gentle patter. Erin peeked out of her fort and returned to the window. The clouds parted, sunlight breaking through and making the wet world sparkle. A brilliant rainbow arched across the sky, brighter than any she'd seen. The air smelled fresh and new. The trees washed clean and green. Birds began to sing, their songs sweeter after the storm. Erin felt awe, not fear. She understood storms were powerful but also beautiful and necessary. The world felt peaceful, renewed. Erin smiled, knowing she'd never see storms the same way again. The adventure had changed her forever.